Hey everybody, it's Patrick. It's Tuesday, and on Tuesdays I talk about long hair. I am actually just back from a conference over this weekend. I had to go almost directly from my vacation to a conference over in Chicago over this past weekend for work. I was invited to help be a mentor to a group of incoming recruits, or recruits that we hope that we will get to be incoming over the next year or so. So it was a great opportunity to speak to some folks who are really looking to get into the business that I work in, which is terrific. I had a fantastic time. Now, this was a very creative conference. It is for professionals who are looking to get into a very creative field, in a very creative industry. So the standards of appearance and dress are a lot different than you might see in, let's say, a conference for lawyers or for people who wanted to go into, say, law enforcement. I would imagine that that would be a lot more professional or a lot more regimented in terms of appearance. People might want to look a very certain way. However, most of the folks at the conference, including myself, were dressed very, I won't say conservatively, but the business casual was a bit more towards business than it was towards casual. I told a few people that I actually had to look in the back of my closet to see if I had slacks, because I work in an environment where I'm allowed to wear jeans every day. I work with engineers and computer professionals, so they tend to come in jeans. I love to wear jeans to work. I think it's one of the best things about working in an office like that. So I really did tone down a lot of what I wear. I tend to wear a lot of crazy colors, a lot of crazy patterns, as you can tell. And so I found some things that were still colorful, still me, but also a little bit more reserved. One of the things that I did notice was that I was the only guy with long hair in the mentors, professionals, recruiters group. There were a few of the incoming folks, a few of the students who were graduating who had the long hair, but that would be expected from college graduates or college students, right? You generally see younger people with long hair, but I have started to notice lately, not even lately, over the past 3 years as I've been growing out my hair, that often I am the only person, not the only person, but the only man with long hair in whatever group I'm in. A lot of times that doesn't bother me at all. Most of the time that doesn't bother me at all. I consider having long hair, it's still fairly unique these days, even though a lot of people are experimenting with their hair lengths, and there's been a lot of trends in men's style and in men's grooming about longer hairstyles. Having hair well past your shoulders is still something that's not seen every day, especially in a corporate setting, especially in a work environment. So I do have to admit that I had a lot of, I won't say any sort of worry, but I did have a bit of trepidation about going into this professional environment, especially somewhere where I was going to mentor a number of students. I had 7 students who were in a group that we talked about your professional careers and your personal goals and all of that sort of thing. How would they see me, and how would the organizers of the event see me as someone with long hair coming in? It's really easy to dismiss people by the way you see them right off the bat, especially when you see them for a short time. This was a conference that I was there for 2 days, and you have to make an impression right away, and the way that you present yourself physically is absolutely something that people, even if they don't judge you on, it is something that they do note. So when you see someone coming in with long hair, you may make some assumptions right off the bat. You know, is this person a hippie, or is he a motorcycle type, or is he a rocker or something like that? None of which, if you've watched any of my videos and you know me at all, I'm not any of those things. And so what was the impression of me? And while I think that you absolutely can't obsess over what people think about you and how they react to the way you look, it certainly can be a worry, and especially when you're the only person in the room who happens to have that one characteristic. For me, it is long hair. So I was thinking about that on the plane as I was coming home. How much can you worry over that? How can that affect you when you are in, say, a professional environment or somewhere where you want to impress people? And how do you overcome that? One of the things that I found myself doing a lot of was making sure that when I was speaking in complete sentences with very few crutch words, very few ums and ahs and likes. I do tend to say like a lot, even though I'm a little bit older than the generation who tends to use like as a crutch word. But I found myself wanting to speak incredibly professionally because I was looking perhaps a little bit different than people expected a professional to look. I also found myself saying things about my professional experience that would emphasize the fact that I had the right to be there in the room. Now, being invited to the conference itself definitely showed my credentials anyway. My company believed in me enough to send me there. The conference definitely believed in me enough to have me actually perform a role as a mentor, and the students all seemed to incorporate that information very well, and they did not seem judgmental. The people who ran the conference and my coworkers certainly weren't judgmental. It was myself. I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to overperform because I felt that people might have either a negative or a preconceived notion of what long hair meant on me. And I think that's the lesson in that, is that no, you can't control the way that other people see long hair, but a lot of the time they're not concentrating on long hair, it's you. Or me, I should just say me. It was me. I was concentrating way too much on how my hair appeared, and not just how my hair appeared, I just had it tied back most of the time, but how people thought of me as a long-haired person instead of interacting more naturally. It evolved throughout the weekend. By Sunday, by yesterday, I definitely had a much more comfortable way of speaking. I had already made some connections. I had proven myself as a professional in my field, but it's always there for me. And I think that remembering to let that go and remembering that you are already who you are is a really great message to keep in mind for me. And so that's why I'm letting it out to you, because you may also have some of those fears. I have seen some comments from folks, and I've seen other videos from folks, guys with long hair, who say, how is this going to affect me in the workplace? And how is that going to affect how people think of me? And I definitely feel that. And even though I always give the message that other people's opinion of your long hair or of you or of your appearance are really none of your business, and you shouldn't focus on it, it can get in the way sometimes, and just drop that, let that go. You've grown your hair for a reason. That reason is yours, and you don't have to justify it to anybody else. And if you are yourself and you are showing that you are competent and confident and happy and comfortable in your own skin, then that's going to show. That's going to show through whatever you have for hair, whatever you have for personal style, and whatever you happen to, the way that you speak, all of that. So that's my video for this week. I'm here every Tuesday talking about long hair. If you'd like to subscribe, you can keep up with me. There's some other videos on this channel as well. Would love to have you stick around. Thank you so much for joining me this time. Talk to you later.